Hello, my name is Richard Thorne and I'm here to just make a few introductory comments about this particular learning outcome, which is difficult situations. I've been involved as a reviewer, as an external examiner for many years now within the HETAC quality assurance system and internationally. And with the best will in the world, you encounter situations where people are tense and defensive, and difficulties arise for perfectly valid and understandable reasons. In Ireland we operate a quality assurance system that is quality enhancement rather than quality control. Theoretically this means that when you go into a reviewing situation, reviewing context, you're there to try to make things better. However, this doesn't mean that you can overlook problems where problems arise, and it doesn't mean that you can ignore situations where clearly there are issues to be dealt with. Having such a role will occasionally bring you into conflict and bring you into situations where people feel under threat or under pressure. There are many examples of where such situations could arise. For example, incomplete documentation. In the case of an external examiner, that might mean incomplete marks or questions not fully answered, or documentation not submitted. In the case of reviews, it may mean significant parts of the self-evaluation not being available or being too long, and this will naturally result in situations where members of the institution could feel under threat or under pressure. It's usual, in my experience, that this doesn't extend to the group as a whole, but may involve one or a small number of individuals, and it'll be your job to ensure that those situations are managed and dealt with to the satisfaction of the review process. Just by way of example, some situations where there may be difficulties, and these would come with some experience on my own part. For example, where there are high-level recommendations to be made, that could potentially reflect on senior management within an institution. These need to be handled sensitively and carefully and grounded in evidence, as we've mentioned in an earlier learning outcome. It may be where you have to pass on bad information. For example, a particular program is not going to get approval. Again, in these situations, the evidence should be clear and unambiguous, and opportunities for improvement or enhancement should be clearly spelt out and demonstrated to the members of the institution. So, in conclusion then, it will not all be sweetness and light within a review. You will occasionally have situations where you will come into conflict and there will be difficulties, and these simply have to be managed using a variety of tools and techniques, some of which will be portrayed in the other learning objects presented in this learning outcome.